Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehāya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Gukarastvandhakaro Vai Rukarastan Nivartakaha Andhakara Nirodhitvat Gururut Abhidhiyate Om Sakhana Bhavatu Sakhanau Bhunaktu Sakhabhiryankaravabhai Tejasvinavadhitamastu vidvishabhai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om śrīhariṃ paramānandam upadeṣṭāramīśvaram vyāpakaṃ sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ tam namāmyaham aparokṣānubhūtirvai procyate mokṣasiddhaye sadbhireṣā prayatnena vīkṣaṇīyā muhurmuhuḥ. For those who were not there before, this aparokṣānubhūtiḥ is the name of the text, and also it mentions the subject matter. Anubhūtiḥ, aparokṣasya anubhūtiḥ, aparokṣānubhūtiḥ. In this world, we have objects of knowledge. Everyone is the subject, the knower. The knower knows through means of knowledge various things. From the galaxies downwards, varieties of things. Even micro objects the knower knows, like electrons. Then atoms and molecules and macro objects. This is a tree, this is apple. All these are macro. This is the universe, consisting of galaxies and systems. Forces, laws, means and ends. This is all we know. this knowledge you have of various things is gained through mainly two means of knowledge. Perception and inference. Pratyaksha anumanabhyam. Idam sarvam nyayate. Everything that is here known to you, known through two means of knowledge. It's very important to understand you cannot have knowledge without a means of knowing. And the means of knowing is either direct perception or inference. This direct perception implies your sense organs, your eyes to see the form and color, ears to hear the sound. So there is a certain range that your ears can hear. Certain decibels and certain frequencies. If the sounds are there, we can hear. Otherwise, we don't hear. So similarly, we have senses to pick up smells, taste, and various forms of touch. Hot, cold, soft, hard. Important. And the whole body is a sense organ. It's a conscious sense organ. And important also that it is not located in a given place. Just imagine. The whole body is not a sense organ, no sense of touch. It's like wood. How will you take care of this body? Even now it's a problem. And how will you take care of it? Suppose sense organ, eyes are here located, ears are, you can plug them, you can't hear. Nose is here, sense of taste is inside the mouth. So similarly, touch can be here, Then if you want to know whether it is hot or cold, you put it here. Afterwards, there is nothing. Then it doesn't mean anything also. So you can't take care of this body. That's why this arrangement is wonderful. One sense organ is all over the body. The whole body, including the tongue. The tongue is a sense of taste. Tongue does more than one job. He is a versatile fellow. Jikhva is versatile. It is used for tongue, used for talking, and is used for eating. Taste, it serves as a sense organ taste. And talking also. And also is a sense of touch also. Sense of touch. Sense of touch is all over, including the tongue. Swamiji is only a sense of taste. Taste is possible because there is touch. Number one. Number two, if you are still doubtful, I always give this advice. But you can't, I can't afford to be quoted. You see. So without quoting me, you can do whatever you want to do. But this is a piece of advice. Take a hot cup of milk, piping hot. Take this. Then afterwards, you have a sense of touch or sense of taste. You tell me. You can't touch. You have to keep for 9 days. All the taste buds are burnt. Okay? Sense of touch. Whole body is a sense of touch. Touch wood, it is like that. Why? Because you have to take care of this body. Otherwise, you will come home leaving the hand somewhere. You won't even know. But there are advantages. You need not scratch anymore. There's nothing. So mosquitoes will have a good time without being disturbed. You can't stung by a bee. Really, the prarabdha cannot work. Karma cannot work through this body because you don't know the confines of the individual. This individual body is part and parcel of your self-identity. You carry yourself wherever you go. This body is one whole. Within the whole, this is an individual body, very important. So the senses are the means for perception, knowledge. The senses can be enhanced in their powers of perception by instrumentation, by adding instruments. For the eyes, you have got a lot of scope. There is microscope, there is telescope, there is stethoscope, there is gastroscope, colonoscope. कितना स्कोप है, lot of scope, so many scopes. You add to the eyes and ears, increase the capacity. But why they have not looked into to increase the capacity of taste? There should be some. I think it's cumbersome, it's going to be. Where to keep it? So, see, you can have glasses here, and you can have earphones here, or what do you call that, hearing aids here. And suppose there is the taste heightener. So taste heightening device, and they are attached to the taste buds. I can't think of it. I don't know. So I don't want to run my imagination right. So this is enough. So by heightening is the sense organs, perception. Adding instruments, you have better perception, it is still perception. It comes under perception, pratyaksha. The theory of Big Bang is based upon simple perception. It just makes me amazed. You scan the sky with this huge telescope and you see light coming from 12 billion light years away. Sitting here today, you see light that started coming when our planet, our galaxy itself did not exist. Today it reaches. It's amazing. It reaches you, your eyes, 12 billion years away. The whole perception, this perception, is dependent upon not the telescope, not the eyepiece of the telescope, the eyes behind the eyepiece. The eyepieces of the telescope, this end of this telescope, these pokey small eyes with glasses. With this alone, you are talking about Big Bang. Understand? Understand how important these sense organs are. They are called pramanam, basic means of knowing. Pramanam. Given to us. Then once you have some data, then from our data bank, we can come up with certain conclusions because we are educated enough to see connections, the invariable concomitance between things. So we come to some conclusions. If this is there, that should be there. Simple inference of one step, like smoke and fire, or more than one step inference. All of them are inferences. So these inferences are by reasoning, cogent reasoning, that can stand inquiry, analysis, then we make some conclusions. This is called paroksha jnanam. All inferential knowledge is paroksha. And the knowledge by perception is called pratyaksha. Therefore, this jnanadvayam, this twofold knowledge, direct and indirect, is valid. This twofold knowledge is valid. Because there is valid means of knowing. A plane takes off and lands not by perception alone. Lot of inference. All medical diagnosis is only by inference. Lot of steps are involved. These days, more steps are involved. In those days, you go into Vaidya's house, they used to boast. You step in, and then that fellow gives you prescription. When Guru Swami Madaliyar was there in Tamil Nadu, Madras, Chennai, he was very famous, and the famous thing about him is, even as you walk in, he knows what is your problem. He will give you this general mixture. For the day he will create mixture, one big drum of mixture, gallons of mixture. And that mixture, unless you take the mixture, the patient doesn't feel, unless he takes this mixture, doesn't feel he has taken medicine. These tablets and all that, you don't feel taking medicine. If you take the mixture, then you feel there is medicine. That peppermint smell must be there. That's called mixture. People love to come to his, and he will make like a rasam. One big drum of this. And as the people walk in, he will give medicine. Think of it now. No. You have to talk for half an hour. You must make them feel you are very leisurely. At the same time, you are trying to finish the whole thing. But you should not show that you are rushing, because liability. Always remember, be careful. Therefore, these very Indian doctors in India, they will rush the people. If somebody tells, this is it, it's like, okay, I know, just work. Take this, you'll be okay. Send them out. Yeah. You have to take the medicine as it is. For them, it is not a problem. They get married like that. Where is the question of... So there is no problem. Indians have no problem. They will take. But here, you have to make them feel that they are already listened very well. Listen to. Then take your own time, as though you have the whole world of time to talk to that person. And at the same time, remember the people are waiting outside still. So this is how you talk. Not only you talk, you document. What you have talked, what you have said, all document. Then what do? Then ask them to go through all the tests that are available. Connected tests. So blood test, this test, that test, everything. Document. And finally you give the same mixture of Guru Swami Madaliyar. In some other form. That's how it is. It's all so many steps of inference. In Sanskrit, we have a separate word for this inference. That is what arthapattihi. All research is done through arthapati. All diagnosis is done by arthapati. Hundreds of steps you can make. Arthapati. Arthat apatti. That is, otherwise it is not possible. You have to prove otherwise it is not possible. So you are necessitated to conclude. That's how a plane takes off and lands. It's all arthapati jnanam. Every meter that gives him indications is based upon arthapati jnanam. The weather report is arthapati. Everything is arthapati. Radar is arthapati. Inference. Therefore, this knowledge is valid. May not be, there can be more knowledge still waiting, but whatever you have is an adequate arthapati to take off and land, if everything goes well. Because we don't have the last word in anything. So daily life is lived by pratyaksha and anumana. The world of science also is pratyaksha and anumana. All experimentations and conclusions, pratyaksha anumanabhyam, by pratyaksha and anumana. Every discipline of knowledge. This is twofold knowledge. Now, the pratyaksha is direct perception. Anumana is indirect knowledge. The word is paroksha, beyond the senses. Paroksha. That which is jnanam param, it is beyond direct perception. Akshabhyaha. Indriyebhyaha param. Parokṣam. Jnanam. So this parokṣam jnanam, pratyakṣam jnanam, this is what we have. This pratyakṣam, direct perception, is again twofold. One is indriya pratyakṣam, the other is sakshi pratyakṣam. So indriya pratyakṣam, direct sense perception. Even through instruments, what you hear, what you see, that is also indriya pratyakṣam. Okay, directly you see. Then sakshi pratyakṣam. You have a sense of time. You have a sense of distance. That's not directly seen by the eyes or ears or by any other sense organs. By what time is sensed? By what distance is sensed? Sakshi pratyakṣam. Sakshi is witness, direct perception. That you have hunger, thirst, sakshi pratyaksha. You have pain somewhere, sakshi pratyaksha. No indriya, sakshi pratyaksha. Your emotions, sakshi pratyaksha. And this is all sakshi, the inner world. Is all sakshi pratyaksha. That you have memories, that you don't have any memory of this kind of a situation. I have never gone through that. Therefore, you know what you have, what you don't have. This is all sakshi pratyaksha, witness perception. Very important. Because that's not known, that is why you have got all these beyond anandas and all. Very innocent people. Simple things are not known. And because of that, you have all kinds of conclusions. So this is all knowledge you have. Pratyaksha, psychology, is purely inferential knowledge. The body, psychology as a body of knowledge. You talk to different people, they have different emotions, different backgrounds. As you keep on talking to different people, you find between certain type of emotion and the background there is similarity. Then you are able to predict, if that is the background, you will have this. This is a law. That is a psychological law or order. You can generalize, therefore. So this should be. If before the year fourth year in one's age, if there is an attack, a heart attack for father, that person is always easily subject to panic. Very insecure. Insecurity is the problem. They write, and it is right. You keep seeing this happening all the time, then only they can write like that. And I have seen people having the same problem. If it is not written, then they should write. Because I see. And therefore, you find it's the whole body of psychology, that knowledge, is all by inference. And thus you have this twofold knowledge. And a Sanskrit word I want you to remember, pratyaksham and aparokṣam. This pratyaksha jnanam, gathered through means of knowledge, aparokṣa jnanam, gained through means of knowledge, then if there is error anyway, erroneous knowledge, either in your perception there is an error, some defect is there, instrument is defect, or in the conclusion there can be defect. In arguments, reasoning, there can be defect. But knowledge without defect, that's why it should stand inquiry, and it is abhaditam. It is not subject to negation on further inquiry. Then only we call it knowledge. Abhaditam jnanam. What is not subject to negation is called knowledge. Now this twofold knowledge is for whom? For you. For you. The one who has this knowledge is you. You are the employer of the means of knowing. And you are the one who gathers this knowledge, the subject, who is referred by the word aham, I. This aham is Atma. If you talk about Big Bang, because you have certain means of knowledge, that is, inference is there, data you give, arguments you give, and therefore it is accepted by people who are supposed to accept that or dismiss that. There is a black hole. There is such a thing called black hole. You can't see with naked eyes black hole. So they have got enough data to conclude there are black holes, very dense matter, which attracts everything. In fact, you cannot see that. Even light is absorbed. It doesn't reflect anything back. It's a real kabanda. Real devourer. A black hole means it's a devourer. It can devour a system, a planetary system, just no trace is left. Gone. It's an alligator. Nothing is left out, no spitting. Don't be afraid, okay? It's a devourer. You ask our Sudarshanji, he will tell you. You should have a session with him. We will have a session today, sometime. And it's an amazing thing. It's all by your inference. So, black hole is because you have, it is evident to you through a means of knowing. It becomes evident. Anything is because it becomes evident to you. Like even the Swami is because it's evident to you. You have your body sitting here, evident to you. The height is this, weight is this, evident to you. There is any pain, evident to you. Hunger, evident to you. Any emotion, evident to you. Memory, knowledge, ignorance, evident to you. That means anything is because it is evident to you through a means of knowing. My question is, old question, whether are you there or not? That's my question. So, a lot of things become evident to you. That means you must be also existing. Unless you are there, things cannot become evident. That's a great knowledge. You must be there before things become evident to you. Yes. Who is that? How do you know that person is there? It's evident to me. I exist. It is evident to me means what? I, me. The subject and object, both are one and the same. I exist. Evident to I. My existence is evident to I. This I, my, me, all this. With reference to you, it is okay, me. With reference to I don't become me. And my, all these propositions have these changes have no meaning whatsoever. I exist, and the existence is evident to I. Self, myself exists because it is evident to me. I have no doubts whether I exist or not. Even if you have doubts, I have no doubt whether you exist or not. I have no doubt. And any other doubt I had, that also is gone now. Now I am very clear. This person, not I don't say you. This person requires special attention. Why? This person thinks, I don't exist. I don't exist. And he goes about asking people, do I exist? Do you think I exist? Then people say, yes, you exist. Oh, did you see me anywhere? Yeah, I saw you. Where did you see me? In New York. Oh, I am in New York? I was in New York? Yes, I saw you in New York. Oh, I have to go there. Why? Because I want to see myself, I want to see myself. Somebody said, if you want to see yourself, go to Sailorsburg. See, that is for somebody else, okay, not for this fellow. Sailorsburg is useless for that special person. That is why I say he's a special person, requires a specialist. That's a different job. It's a kind job. You have to do a kind job, but it's a different job. You must have specialization in that. Therefore, do you exist or not? I exist. That existence has to become evident. Without evidence, there is no existence. You can't talk about existence. I, Swami, exist because it is evident to you. The existence, the Swami sitting here is evident to you. You see him talking. Okay? Your body exists, evident to you. Everything is evident to you. What all that you say is. Your memory is, knowledge is, ignorance is evident to you. And you are, I is, evident to whom? Evident to I, not another I. If there is another I am talking of thus I. That I to whom everything becomes evident. Does it exist or not? You have to say, yes, it exists. Evident to whom? The self. When did it become evident to you? When did the self become evident to the self? When? When? I didn't think about it. I think just a few minutes ago, when you asked me, then generally it struck me. Oh, the self exists. What struck you was not the existence of the self or the self-evidence of the self, but that the self is self-evident. It's evident to itself. Everything is evident to the self. The self is self-evident. This idea struck me now. And before that also I existed. I existed. Why do you say I existed? Swamiji, don't you know this? I am a married person. Okay, what is the logic? I'm a married person. Did anyone would marry any woman would marry a non-existent person? Don't you see that? See the logic, very tight logic. Oh, therefore I exist like the French philosopher said, Descartes, I think, therefore I am. I am married, therefore I exist. I am talking before marriage. Before marriage, did you exist or not? What is this? You don't need a logic. You don't need any pramana, any means of knowing. Why? Because aham nitya aparokṣaha. Look at that. Nitya aparokṣaha. I am neither an object of direct perception, nor an object of indirect knowledge. Still I am. I exist. By what? Without a means of knowledge. Before employing any means of knowledge, without requiring a means of knowledge, I exist. And that existence is called aparokṣa. That jnanam, that knowledge of existence, of myself, is aparokṣa jnanam. So we have threefold knowledge now. Pratyaksham, object. Parokṣam, object of inference. Object of perception, object of inference. Aparokṣam, the existence of the knower. Correct? It did not come yesterday. It is nitya aparokṣaha. We are going to see that. Atma aham is aparoksha. From this, what do you understand? What I understand is, I am aparoksha. I cannot be objectified. I don't need to be objectified. This is where they commit mistakes. Atma cannot be objectified. Atma cannot be known by the mind. Atma should be known through beyond the mind. You should go beyond the mind to enlighten. And some people write, they have got a magazine also, Enlightenment. The dangerous people. And Atma is to be realized beyond the mind. The existence of Atma is beyond any doubt, beyond any means of knowing. Why? Because it doesn't need to be known to prove its existence. It doesn't require to be known to prove its existence. I am. Therefore, all the problems. That is the philosopher here. So, I think, therefore I am, he said. That is okay. I am, therefore all the problems. This I am is a self-evident thing. What I am is a thing to be known. What I am, suppose I ask, who are you? You give me so many answers. Each answer is right and wrong, right and wrong, right and wrong, or totally wrong. Right from a point of view, wrong because the point of view is taken to be view. And certain things are totally wrong. This right and wrong, enough for us. Therefore, when a point of view is taken to be view, the error is not ordinary. Error is not ordinary. Because the error, I commit errors in my knowledge, paroksha pratyaksha jnanam. This is called paroksha pratyaksha jnana. It's a point of view, just like there was a rat tail. I thought the rat has shed its tail and then therefore I picked up the tail to throw it out. And the rat came and bit my hand. That's a point of view. That's the error, okay? It is error. You are right, you are wrong. It is a rat's tail. But you thought that it is a tail alone. It is not tail alone, it is the tail of a live rat, and which is a very angry, ferocious rat, and it bites you. You know? Error. Now it is not an object, really, it is not a mistake of an object. Can be corrected it can get healed and all that, it is okay. But it is the subject. Myself, I can't afford to commit mistake. I am supposed to be the knower. And the knower itself is mistaken for someone who is not there. Different from the very swarupa, the nature of the self. Therefore, a point of view is to be recognized as such. Otherwise, you have a distorted view of yourself. And hence, this aparokṣasya atmanaḥ anubhutiḥ aparokṣa jnanam aparokṣasya atmanaḥ aparokṣa jnanam, knowledge of the aparokṣa atma, which cannot be paroksha, which cannot be indirect, which is as true as the aparokṣa atma. It's called otherwise aparokṣānubhūtiḥ. The immediate knowledge of the self, of the self-evident Atma, oneself. The immediate knowledge of the self-evident Atma, oneself. This is the title of the book. That is the subject matter of the book. For a mumukshu, for the one who wants moksha, may one look at this book again and again. This is the verse, second verse after the prayer says that. And fortunately, even those who didn't attend the previous session, will see the beginning, the 30th verse. That is the beginning, 29th or 29. The 29th verse is also a beginning. It gives a beginning. I told you, anywhere we can begin. But in fact, last time I left with the 28th. Why? Because this 29 is another beginning. Therefore, I left it as it is, because so that I can again begin. We will read the verse, then we will come back, then do it. Very interesting verse. Just begins, the discussion begins. Very beautiful. Svadehe śobhanaṃ santam puruṣākhyaṃ ca saṃmatam kim mūrkha śūnyamātmānaṃ dehātītaṃ karoṣi bhoḥ. Very respectfully, he addresses the man. Yeah. Hey, mūrkha, bhoḥ, mūrkha. I'm sorry, sir. You are a fool. We'll see all that. Om Purnamadaḥ Purnamidam Purnat